All right, today we're going to be working on hands and feet. I don't know if your kid talked to you last week, but uh, basically, and I'm going to use this scratch piece of paper to show how we've built a character from top to bottom from the face. So basically, we've done a lot of drawing a circle and then saying, okay, based on what we've worked on, here are some eyes, here is a nose, here's a mouth, here are ears. And so I'm gonna draw in this character. It's gonna be super um, not great, but it's for the purpose of having the main part of the body so that we can do feet and hands. And so when we're doing characters too, by the way, a lot of times we'll draw like a gloved hand. You can think about like Mickey Mouse. Those are the type of hands I usually draw, unless the character has like texture. And that's what we're going to work on Friday when we're together. We're going to work on texture. So maybe making the character's body look like a certain type of texture. But at any rate, so we're going to draw the eyes first. And so we're going to do just a simple eye. We'll just do a little round here, and then we'll do a little vintage eye, this guy. We're just gonna draw those in real quick. All right, and then we'll do a simple nose. And then we'll do like this half moon smile. And we talked about doing teeth, the way you can easily do teeth. Just make like a rectangle at the top of that half moon. Again, I'm not trying to be super fast about, or I am trying to be super fast about this. So there's our basic layout. Let's give him a little hair at the top. Okay. Do we want to give him ears? Of course we do. We worked on ears too. So let's make them a little high up. And your kid should know based on what we did. All right. There's very, very plain head. So we're not going to draw. So, you might have a character that's got a head. I'm going Roblox on this guy. There's your basic character layout. We're not going to draw we're going to always, for the purpose of this class, the head for the most part is going to be the body. So the characters that we draw, the shape of the head is also going to be the body. And we're not going to focus on drawing like the shirt or the shoes or anything like that with a full body. What we're going to do instead is sort of make the character's head the body as well. And when we draw legs and feet, this is the easiest way to do this, to give some kind of complexity to it, but also keep it really simple. So guys, if you've got your character head drawn, we're just going to draw out two little sticks here for the feet. Now, notice at the bottom, they're rounded, okay? And so just to give it a little bit of depth, you can go in here and create a little line. That's gonna be like the shadow of the head over the feet. It'll look real good here in just a second, okay? So down here at the bottom, let's draw the sock. This is just one variation. And make it like that's his sock. Okay, so you see where now it looks like his feet are going into the sock here at this rounded part. Now, you could do a, something like that, but I have found that squaring off things doesn't give the kind of detail that you want. Because what you can do and this is going a little past what we're doing today, but you can always go back in and draw these little contour lines that help give shape to your character, okay? And so I always do that. When I'm drawing a character, I'm always pulling these little contour lines to give the character a little bit more, my ADHD just kicked in and I was like, he needs a sparkle on his teeth. Okay, so, all right, then let's draw a shoe. So a good shoe, simple shoe, instead of just like this little round guy here, is to pull down a line and then start on the left side, for this instance, we're doing the right shoe. So on the left side, pull up and come back around. And that will be where the shoe connects, right? So here is kind of where we would be. So this is a really easy character shoe. Again, you can always come back in and draw little contour lines. You can always make it a little bit more detailed coming off the shoe, okay? So you can make it as detailed as you want, but the general idea is it's kind of like a little folded shoe. And again, you can think about somebody like Mickey Mouse as far as a character where this kind of shoe would happen. So I've pulled my line off here. Sorry, I'm bumping the camera. Pulling off the line here. And for both of these, I'm gonna start on the inside and down. I'm gonna pull up. There's the toe box of the shoe. Back around there. Same deal here, up, make the toe box, come back around, and there you've got two very simple character shoes. Again, draw your little contour lines if you want, and your little bit of shading right there. We did work on shading just a little bit, but we'll get into more of that as the class goes on to kind of help your character have depth. All right, so there are our feet. Perfect, this is great. So hopefully you're following along. So now let's talk about what can we do for his arms, right? Again, we're not drawing this upper body part and this lower body part. We're kind of just doing the legs and the arms connected to the head. The arms are gonna have the same shape as the legs. So I'm gonna draw those out real quick, and you can make it like your character is waving. That's always a good, so straight out, kind of making like a 45-degree angle and then back in. And again, you're gonna put that like oval-ish shape on the end of your character. Okay, so it looks like your hand's going into a glove. All right, and this hand, I've kind of created an issue down here for myself, so let's move that. So we're just gonna let his arm droop down for this one. All right, same deal. I'm gonna tell you why we're not completing that oval here in just a second. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna come back to this character in just a second. I'm gonna flip to a new page, and I'm gonna show you hands real quick. And we're gonna do, this could be just 3 different hands. We're gonna draw a peace sign, we're gonna draw a closed fist, and then we will draw like the horns, right? Rock and roll, okay? And the character's hands are gonna be like they're facing us. So in the frame, this is what we wanna kind of see. Now, your character's fingers, I think I was drawing a character the other day, and one of the kids said something like, why does your character only have 4 fingers? And I'm like, well, he's a character. He doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be anatomically correct. So you can draw your character to have 3 fingers or 4 fingers or 5. But a lot of times, and you'll notice this too, if you count characters' fingers, somebody even like Mickey Mouse does not have 5 fingers. He's got 4 fingers, which I don't guess mice have fingers, do they? I don't know, somebody Google it. But all right, so let's do a glove where it's just a closed fist. So let's do that. So a lot of these are gonna make use of like an oval shape, right? That's kind of be our finger shape that we do multiple times here. So let's do that closed fist, like I said. So I'm gonna draw basically a zoomed in version of those hands that we just did. And I'm gonna draw 2 of them with it closed and 1 of them with it not. And so you can act like this is the bottom of the glove, or like we're gonna go back to the character we just drew in a second. But here is the open version, and we'll do that one last. So let's do the closed fist. So again, we're taking that as kind of our reference. And what we're gonna do is just try to kind of draw almost like a 7, but we're gonna connect it to the wrist. So there's a 7. But then we're gonna make that little oval and we're not gonna connect it. So there's our thumb. Then so let's say 4 fingers, there's 1. Let's do 2, 3, and then 4. I'm gonna kind of bring that up right there. there's your closed fist. Okay, very simple, nothing too crazy. Again, I'm doing this fairly quickly, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Something we keep talking about while we're in here because we got some perfectionists amongst us. All right, let's do a peace sign. So we're gonna do the same thumb, right? We're gonna do the same thumb. Close that thumb. Here's that little oval shape that I talked to you about. These are our finger shape right here. All right, well, 2 of those fingers have to be kind of spaced out, right? So let's just do, on this one, let's do 5 fingers just so that it makes a little bit more sense. So let's draw a little oval out, kind of like this shape right here. There. There's another one. So there's our little oval shape over and over again. We're just changing how it connects. So there's your peace sign. Super easy. Super easy. There's your contour lines if you want to draw those out. All right. And then our last one, we're going to do the one that's not all the way closed, but now we're going to do the thumb where the finger, pointer finger and the pinky finger are up like the rock and roll kind of sign. So again, we're going to do the same thing, but you're going to notice now that these aren't closed. It kind of gives the feeling that the glove is not, it's continuous. It's not closed off. So again, this is more like giving a little bit of detail. All right, so we're gonna do big finger. There's our 2 little fingers. And there's our rock and roll sign. All right, so let me go back to our character here. If I can find it. All right. So back to our character. So now what I draw on my iPad all the time, and what I almost did is put my fingers down on the paper and tried to zoom it in. So forgive me if you've seen me do that a couple times. All right, so we're gonna act like this is closed glove. Let's do this one first because we didn't do a version of this on the other paper, but we're gonna make it where his hand's facing away from us. So it's like his thumb's out. And so we're just gonna bring his thumb down and then bring like knuckles. All right, so there's the knuckles. And again, you can also do just like we did on the legs. So there's like a shadow there. All right, and so there's our closed fist. Now, I don't know what I said we were gonna do here, but let's do the rock and roll sign. So the other ones I drew all of them on the left. Well, if he was on this side and we were doing the rock and roll sign, the thumb would have to be on the inside. So always remember when you're drawing your characters, how your hands are facing. You got to make it look correct. So he's facing us, which means if he was throwing his hand up like that his thumb would be on the inside, not on the outside like we were drawing just a second ago. So I'm gonna draw up and over. There's my thumb. There's my first finger. My 2 little ovals. There's my pinky. There we go. Just like that. Again, you can kind of make it as detailed as you want. But that's not half bad. There's our little funny character. For now, I feel like he should have just 1 sparkly tooth, and the rest of this should be... I like that better. That fits more of my drawing style. All right, so again, hands, feet, very simple, nothing too crazy. The hands and the gloves, this is something that you can start playing around with, where you can do the thumb, closed fist, there's the pointer finger, and there you've got, they're pointing the way. You can start doing different things with it. If you want to open the hand completely, you can play with that. You can play with, like he's holding something. This is one that I always like to do. If I was drawing his hand on the other side, I would draw the thumb up and then here, like he's holding something. All right, so you can start, again, this is super fast. You can start playing around with the ideas of how your hand looks. You've got hands, so use them as references. How would you draw that out? Now, again, I like using this shape. It's like a plump, big shape, instead of trying to draw things out real skinny and things like that. So you can make it more cartoony looking, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to spend some time. It doesn't really matter what your face character looks like. We've practiced that, but you can draw out some of these. You can do different eyes, noses, mouth, the whole nine. And then what I want you to do is I want you to practice drawing that simple shoe, and then start practicing drawing your hands as in different scenarios. So, closed, peace sign, thumbs up, however you want. Practice drawing that. And when you come back to class on Friday, let's see about 4 characters that you drew trying to use the simple shoe and the hands in different spots. And we'll see you guys on Friday.